Shares of Research in Motion closed up 6.5% in trading today. Company avoided a shutdown of their Blackberry system. Now, the judge presiding over the patent dispute between Research in Motion and NTP has once again delayed his decision. At issue are 8 patents that NTP claims Research in Motion infringed upon with its Blackberry. Wednesday, the Patent Office gave a final rejection on one of those patents. RIM's co-CEO said he would consider a settlement with NTP, provided it is reasonable. Joining us from Mountain View, California to talk about the latest developments in this detailed case is Kerton, principal at the Kerton Group. This is a wireless consultant firm and has closely followed this case. Derek was with us earlier this week and joins us once again to discuss the judge's decision, Derek, to delay an injunction. Welcome.
Hi, Lori. Good to be here.
So you were just explaining to me that the judge was, in this case, was really kind of backed into a corner. Can you explain that?
Sure. Judge Spencer is in a position where he has in front of him valid patents, because even though they've been rejected by the Patent Office, they're still in effect, they're still in force until the final appeals process from NTP has been exhausted. So with valid patents in front of him, he really legally needs to rule in favor of NTP. But he knows that long term, the patents are likely to be invalidated because the USPTO has indicated that. So he really doesn't have a right move. His best hope is that these two companies come to a settlement and get this docket off of his roster.
Okay, so it sounds like this judge is trying to buy time here. What do you think the chances are they reach a settlement before an injunction?
Well, I still think the settlement is a pretty likely outcome of this trial. And when we saw an announced settlement in May of last year, the two companies came to a preliminary agreement. We saw RIM's stock valuation pop up almost $1 billion in market cap. So they've got $1 billion monkey on their back, and ultimately their shareholders and their customers want RIM to clear this issue.
RIM shares popped 6.5% today. When we spoke on Wednesday, you said that this ruling, if it came to be this, if it was at the very least a delay, it would result in a pop in the share price. So we saw that today. You also said that it was a little bit of a shame that Research in Motion's valuation was depressed because of this ongoing patent dispute. So with today's gains, are you a little more comfortable with the valuation?
Well, I don't look at the fundamentals, so I'm not a stock analyst. I'm definitely a wireless market analyst, and I look at which companies succeed in the market. But I do have business training, so I think it's pretty safe to say if they clear this monkey off of their back, we're going to see a further pop in the stock price.
All right, so RIM CEO today reassured Blackberry users service will not be shut down. However, he also said that it will take some 2 million man-hours to implement this workaround technology. What's the legitimate outcome here?
Well, I think ultimately what RIM wants and RIM shareholders and customers want is a settlement. NTP wants a settlement because that's how they walk away with some kind of cash. The judge wants a settlement. What it really boils down to is what's that number?
Yeah.
And Jim Balsillie, as you said, has said what he's looking for is a reasonable number, and we all are wondering at this point, what is that number? We're looking forward to hear if there is a settlement, and we know that $1 billion sounds like too much for RIM, so 400,000 maybe too little. Is it somewhere in between? Or does what's happened in the recent past change the balance of power and maybe shift it more in RIM's favor and drive down the level of the settlement? Only those two companies know. And
then as a consultant, what do you think would be a fair number? Sorry to put you on the spot.
I'm going to have to, my opinion is 0, but we're not looking for justice here. What we're looking for is an expedient solution to let this company get on with business and to let the shareholders and the customers know that they can rely on the Blackberry service. So I would say somewhere perhaps between 2 and 400 million.
Okay. And then how did the damages part of this factor in? I know NTP is looking for $126 million. The judge, because again, these are live patents, will more than likely have to award damages. Can you explain that angle of this?
Well, as you're correct, the judge, what he has in front of him are live patents. Even though they've been final rejected at the U.S. Patent Office, they remain in force until the appeals process is exhausted at the Patent Office. So the judge, on his side, is looking at live patents, and RIM technically is infringing on those patents. So the request for damages will probably be awarded, and that will probably figure into the overall settlement arrangement as well.
We saw a decline in shares of Palm today. Wondering what sort of reaction you've seen, or if there's anything new in the last couple of days as all of this with RIM has come forward. Microsoft, Palm, are they benefiting? Are we re-recognizing perhaps the value of Research in Motion's Blackberry technology?
There's no doubt that RIM's competitors are benefiting from this battle, but the reality is that the market for wireless email is a growing market. It's going to float all the boats, RIMs, you can RIM even with this this trouble with the NTP lawsuit hanging over, has had year-over-year annual growth, I believe, in the 40% CAGR range. So just no matter what the troubles are, the overall market is growing like crazy and will continue to grow for some time. There's room for everybody in this market.
Derek, thanks a lot. Appreciate your insight.
My pleasure.
Once again, Derek Kerton, principal with the Kerton Group, a wireless consultant firm. Well, NASCAR racing's booming, second biggest spectator